UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson has imposed a nationwide lockdown banning Britons from leaving their homes for 3 weeks to stop the spread of COVID-19. A majority of stores will be shut down to enforce the lockdown, and those that don't will face fines. In a televised address to the nation, the Prime Minister further announced all gatherings of more than 2 people will be prohibited as police gain powers to disperse crowds.
You must stay at home, because the critical thing we must do to stop the disease spreading between households. That is why people will only be allowed to leave their home for the following very limited purposes: shopping for basic necessities as infrequently as possible, one form of exercise a day, for example, a run, walk or cycle, alone or with members of your household, any medical need to provide care or to help a vulnerable person, and travelling to and from work, but only where this is absolutely necessary and cannot be done from home.
The Prime Minister says all social events, including weddings but excluding funerals, will be called off. Beth Rigby has more.
In terms of how does the Prime Minister feel about it, he said in that statement, no Prime Minister wants to enact measures like this. I know the damage that this disruption is doing. He said that he will look at these measures again in 3 weeks. But he also said that in terms of trying to turn the tide on coronavirus, in terms of trying to save lives, that we all have to be, to quote him, directly enlisted in this fight. We all have to do our bit. We all have to stay home. And in terms of the measures announced, quite similar to France there, you will face a fine if you are out of the house for reasons other than the government have outlined. There will be further guidance coming tonight. But the Prime Minister said at the weekend that the UK was a matter of weeks, 2 or 3 weeks, behind Italy in terms of the progression of the disease throughout the country and throughout our society. And now he is putting us on lockdown in order to try and stop the spread and to try and save lives, and critically to try and ensure that the NHS doesn't become completely overwhelmed.